Good evening. I'm Kill the Vid, your host for the 9 to 5 Outlaw Does Gaming YouTube and Twitch channel. And tonight, I'm doing a special first look at Watch Dogs Legion. Yes, Watch Dogs Legion, released in about October of 2020. London has fallen into the wrong hands. There are four or five criminal entities and enterprises that have taken over the city that is the center of commerce and multiculturalism and trade and so forth, and has a history. Well, now, in this future, it is a bleak and terrorizing one. 5 criminal entities and individuals have taken over, have stepped in, while citizens of all sorts have nothing to do. They can't go anywhere without constantly being under surveillance of the cTOS system. And yes, speaking of cTOS, DedSec has gone global, but unfortunately in London, England, UK, they have been framed for an extinction terroristic threat, and they have been made the scapegoats. So what you're about to see, you've played Watch Dogs 1, you played Watch Dogs 2, but now Watch Dogs Legion. 1 hour of gameplay right here on the 9 to 5 Outlaw Does Gaming YouTube and Twitch channel. So grab a snack, grab a drink, grab whatever it is you need. Let's Play will be a future Let's Play, but this is a first look at Watch Dogs Legion right now on the 9 to 5 Outlaw Does Gaming. Taking London back. Let's get into it. This is going to be one of the most controversial of the Watch Dogs series you've ever played. There was the first one taking place in Chicago, Illinois, the second in San Francisco, California, and the third in London, England. So let's get on with the ride. And if this is your first time on my channel, and by the way, this is going to be uploaded to YouTube and it's not live except for when I'm recording, but you'll be watching this on playback when you go to the 9 to 5 Outlaw Does Gaming, not all one word necessarily, but you'll find it on YouTube to watch this riveting 1 hour gameplay preview of Watch Dogs Legion. And now I will say I originally had this for PC with the other games, but I couldn't get it to run. But with Xbox One, I'm able to do it here.
Yeah, I'm in.
Let's go.
And I should mention, for the first time in a Watch Dogs game ever, you don't play as a main character. The main characters, if you will, are random people who are members of DedSec. But they will have exclusive roles. For example, this person here is obviously a construction worker. So she is going to have advantages and places that she can have access to given her role and her position, her occupation. So I'm in a London pub, which of course is a DedSec operation. This person is a paramedic.
I'm not going to judge it out loud.
And now you have the ability to recruit potential members of DedSec. I already had spoken to her, so. Now when it comes to the hacking, it's going to be advanced level. And there's going to be the use of drones too. And if you're lucky to get a drone expert as part of DedSec, that would be of great advantage because he or she will have the ability to hack into any and all drones. And speaking of drones, Albion is a private military company run by Nigel Cass, who has made himself an unelected mayor of London because of the tragedy. So, there's going to be weaponized drones, and we'll see how scary that they are. But if the drone expert that's part of DedSec gets a hold of them, you can actually, or you can also unlock the ability to cause the drones to attack others, attack the enemies instead of it hunting you down, instead of them hunting you down. Anyway, this is the underground headquarters of DedSec London. Let's have a conversation with our recruits.
Hey, what's up?
Truth is, I feel like fucking shit. It's all just some kind of conspiracy. Is DedSec even real?
I totally get it. But this is it. This is the real thing.
Fuck. Guess I'll just keep on keeping on then.
Now, what's... Now let's take a moment and look at the this is what I was talking about. This is built after London, England, UK, IRL. There are 9 boroughs in London, England. As DedSec London, you will be able to infiltrate and liberate these borders from Albion rule. This is the Albion logo. And there's also, and by the way, when it comes to the enemies, look at the team. You could recruit up to, I think, 21 members of DedSec. Here's our ones I have yet to recruit. And they're going to have roles. For example, this one is a first responder, so he can access hospitals. And by the way, these hospitals have been taken over by a criminal gang known as Clan Kelly, led by Mary Kelly, who is the ruthless female crime boss. And this is Fatima Halabi, who's a DJ. Her abilities include short cooldowns and more damage. And she can stun nearby enemies with feedback that she can cause. This person is an exterminator, which makes him immune to gas attacks, because there are going to be some drones and also some Albion soldiers who are going to attack with gas, with not nerve gas, or tear gas. So he will be able to hold his breath. And this one has a berserker feature because he's a bouncer. Defeat enemies to heal up, so he has to keep beating up on enemies in order to get his health back. Plus he's got a truncheon or a bat, which is his melee weapon. Plus he can defend himself even more. This one is an investor, and she'll allow the increase of cryptocurrency. This one is an actress, philosopher, and they have special vehicles. You could even get an MI6 agent, as well as an Albion officer, because they can get into Albion headquarters. This one is an archaeologist, but he has a silenced weapon. Plumber. And she attacks with a pipe. Auto mechanic. Singer. You can even get a beekeeper or even a hypnotist or an MI6 agent. Customs officer. So she's a police officer, custom officer. She's in form of law enforcement, but she's not Albion per se. But she's got law enforcement, what do you call it? Privileges. And one thing I should also mention too is that you can actually customize your characters. You couldn't do that in the first and second outside of switching outfits. You can customize their hair. In fact, let's go right over here. You go right to the shop. Now when it comes to character attributes, you can alter your character, male or female's hair, piercings, makeup, tattoo, beard if they're, of course, they're a male. But here are the hair options. Even the color. And on the right side is the cryptocurrency on the right side. The more you have, the more you're able to buy. And then of course there's other outfits. Like even the shops, they become accessible once you physically go to these shops, but of course you don't go indoors like in Watch Dogs 1 or 2. Instead, they're like outdoor vending machines where you can pick the clothes without having to go into the interiors. And once you unlock them, because right now these stores are locked, but the moment you unlock them, you can access them anywhere, from headquarters or out in the field outside of said shop. So anyway, see these outfits? The ones in red are like that. Is obviously because you don't have enough funds to make the purchase. But it's full customization of characters. And one thing I should mention about the characters is that they're gonna have the recycled voice tracks. And for some reason, Ubisoft has decided to only have several different character voices for the non-character characters, if you will, because these characters they're just random people. They're not Aiden Pearce or Marcus Holloway. Speaking of Aiden Pearce, he appears in a DLC prequel to Watch Dogs Legion called Bloodline, so look for that. And also another character, Wrench from Watch Dogs 2, also makes an appearance in that DLC as well. There's also the mask. Now when your character enters an area that is highly armed and guarded, he or she will instantly put on their mask when they are actually when you're in infiltration mode. As soon as your character gets out of the red area, that's when they'll go back to their civvies. When you get into a vehicle, of course there's licensed music, and for that I cannot play because of copyright reasons. But there are podcast shows where they are part of the resistance because they are under the boot of Albion, which I mentioned before is a private military company, and they are looking out and arresting anybody who may be associated with DedSec. Because they were framed for a bombing. And now the rest of the world and of London, England thinks that DedSec is no good, while there's some others who have sympathy towards DedSec and are more than likely going to join up with them. And you look at the picket signs. The propagandic text signs, depending on who and where you are, culturally and socially. So now I'm gonna have to go on this mission. You can also play online with other people as well. Now you can do the profiling system. You can find out who is with DedSec or not. And if you find someone who is against DedSec and totally hates them, you'll see a red thumbs down. This person's a travel agent. This person's a mechanic. See? Here we go. Here's a person who doesn't like DedSec at all. But you may be able to change his or her mind. But currently, this person is down with DedSec, and so is she. Can also steal access to digital keys to get into places. Yep, another person who hates DedSec. And look at this. We've got a automated driverless taxi. You can actually take control of vehicles. Now, Albion, that's Albion talking. So this person's down with DedSec. So
We're being contacted by our potential recruit. Patching them through now.
If you need anything at all, I'm at your service.
Best thing you could do is pay it forward, right? Join DedSec. Grow the movement.
Right. Count me in.
So now she's part of DedSec. You can also cause their weapons to jam up. So this is an Albion officer that works for Nigel Cass.
Don't let the tit get away.
That's what happens when they're on alert. When you see that check mark like that, that means they're on the hunt. They're probably gonna get her because she's part of DedSec. Because they scan people on the streets, and then what happens is they'll take them in to get arrested.
Danger. Vehicle in critical condition. Please exit immediately.
That's it. Ending the search.
Now watch this. This is one of their vehicles. I can use that to crash into them. You have full control.
Until you find them. Come on, begin a search. They're not getting away that easy. Fan out. I want that inspected. Go. Initiate search protocol. Let's find this wanker.
Now this is a driverless taxi as well. Now we got auto driver on. Now I'm gonna try to get to the location. You also got some weapons of sorts, and they become upgradable with these special tech points that are indicated by these green boxes, diagonally shaped boxes. Is your stun gun, your spider bot, your AR cloaking device that gives you temporary cloak ability so that you can sneak undetected before it wears off. And then there's also upgrades. given that once you have enough tech points. And then this one is for a chase drone that you can actually hijack and turn on enemies. These become available once you, and you got the deep profiler as well. So once, let's say if I get 25 tech points that are in these little drives are all over London in their corresponding boroughs. Once I've accrued enough tech points, I can unlock that. There's gadgets, upgrades, and these are the hacks. These are the weapons, and these weapons are often non-lethal. You got the hacks, drone hacking, gun jamming, riot drones, and then you have it where you can actually create a shroud. You can shroud a target that's been defeated. You also got electro fist. It's like electrical version of brass knuckles that stuns enemies. The bug, the podcast shows. Now let's look at the now let's listen to a podcast archive.
I'm Claire Waters, and we've been discussing the hacktivist, now alleged terrorist group, DedSec, on this week's Buccaneer Radio. I have Colin calling in. Colin, what's your take?
Now, I've been saying from the start we should have rounded up DedSec and thrown them in jail.
And this is the aftermath
I'll
of
say
the
they should all be lined
terrorist
up
bombing
and
that took
shot.
place in the heart of London and the 9 boroughs,
They've been fingered as the attackers, but we've seen no
where
proof.
DedSec has obviously been framed.
Look at our city. What more proof do you need?
Well, Colin, I'd say you have to look at their history of non-violent action. Albion's put more civilians in the hospital in the past few months than DedSec ever has. I smell a scapegoat. Now I have Emily calling in. Emily, what's your take?
You're absolutely right, Claire. The government's just framing DedSec because they want to make it seem like they have this under control. They probably have no clue who was behind the bombings. But that doesn't look good on the news, does it? DedSec's been a thorn in their side. Who better to pin it on?
Angie, I have you next. What do you make of all this?
I think, if anything, DedSec showed their true colors. It's terrifying to think we harbored such a dangerous element for years. Terrorists in our own backyard.
Do you find DedSec more frightening than the different gangs in London like Clan Kelly?
Clan Kelly might set your shop on fire and maybe they'd kill you, but even they wouldn't try to blow up all of Parliament.
Next I have
Parliament, they blew up
King.
Parliament.
Do you feel safer using a pseudonym?
Everyone should. Why make it easier for them to track you? And now we've seen what they're capable of and how far they're willing to go.
Hold on. Do you mean the government? Are you suggesting the government was responsible for the bombings?
Oh, trust me, Claire. They didn't do it alone. They're all in on it. The government, Albion, Sirs, Blume, Sky Bloody Larson, and all the way up to Downing Street. They want to keep us scared, harness us with mind
So it is a
control.
totalitarian,
If
you
there are
know,
sounds of usefulness out
dystopian
of us, and even in death
future
they'll sell off our bodies.
And what
of
do you
London.
suggest we do, Crypto King?
Go underground. Deep enough, no electric signal can get you. It's the only way.
Well,
That's
thank
where
you to all
DedSec
of our
comes
callers
in.
today, and thank
And
you
they're
for
still
tuning
being
in
framed.
and scouting for the truth along with me. Next week, Buccaneer Radio will be diving into the Albion Corporation. Just who are these men and women being paid lucrative amounts for the city's defence? Are they protecting us? Protecting London? Or someone else's interests? See you next
Or
week,
all
fellow
four,
pirates.
or three.
Claire Waters, out.
Welcome back to The Upload. Today we're talking about cryptocurrency. Crypto now seems like it's been around forever, but it's really quite a new invention. Were you an early adopter?
I was one of the first that was in this market. That seemed to be a new way of financing.
Okay, that's enough of that. We want to look at the, okay, got the missions. And by the way, you are not alone. As part of DedSec, there's an AI entity known as Bagley who will speak to you snarkily and also guide with the op. And of course, Sabine Brandt, who was the sole survivor of the London tragedy of the bombings and of DedSec when Albion raided their headquarters, their hidden location. So, she's also in on it too. When I say in on, of course I mean as an asset, as part of the team. Currently, Zero Day is responsible for the terrorist bombings and also framing DedSec.
Find whoever hacked this vehicle.
Now, I'm going to select where I need to go. But as I mentioned before, you can play as anybody in Watch Dogs Legion. I'm using the auto drive feature because this is a self-driving vehicle. Now, drones hover above the city. Now, unless you're the drone expert, you won't be able to hack into these straight away. There's also a cargo drone. And since your character, one of your DedSec characters, is a construction worker, he or she can have access to a cargo drone. And the cargo drone can be used to hover above London to get to destinations.
This is London Calling. You're here with me, Tash, Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want. In today's world, we've all had to get used to every move being tracked by the optics of the temples and the cameras around us, and with every click we make.
Yeah, like 1984. Big Brother is watching you.
Why are they so and not what are they using it for? Will we ever have real private lives again? What is privacy in the digital world? And what happens when capitalism and surveillance become one?
Auto drive.
So this is the new Scotland Yard.
Oh shit, Albion has completely taken over the station.
And the entire police service. But don't worry, if you're not pleased
That's
with your
Bagley
privatised
talking.
goon squad, just take your business across the street.
Never thought I'd miss the cops. Just one more way the world is broken.
Not to worry, the only difference now is the uniform, assault weapons, and the fact they're motivated by profit over public service. Now, any record or information on the spider bot will be further in.
You can create distractions. Now, notice how the area is highlighted and armed and it's colored red. Now, if it wasn't, I would have access just as long as they don't look directly at me. They don't get a good look at me. But since I'm a construction worker, I'm obviously a person that doesn't belong here, apart from being a member of DedSec. Now you can, of course, hack into these cameras just like in the previous games. Now, we look like we have a hostage, a freedom fighter. So I gotta rescue him or her. So the first thing I want to do is get an intel of the entire area. Anything I can use to exploit or cause distractions. And also find out how many Albion personnel is there. Okay. I can disable the security alarms and cause other distractions. So what I need to do is use the, watch what happens, what I can do here.
Is that right?
Look at that mess open, huh? Turning it on and off.
Better run diagnostics on this.
Meanwhile, I'm out here. I've got the AR cloak. Look around in the city, what's happening. There's talking drones. Watch me hijack this drone. I can use this type of drone to get to places that I wouldn't be able to get in the air. You can even hijack vehicles. Oh, look at Random over.
Something's dodgy going on. Lock it down.
Let's find them. Straight away.
Area's clear. Continuing the search. I want to know who's tampered with this vehicle.
We could raise platforms. Hijack this camera.
All clear here. Moving on. Any sign of the target?
That's me right there. That's pixelated.
Someone's tampering with this. Find them.
You can use a spider bot. Let's see if I can get inside. Look, there the person is.
You're only making it worse for when we're finding.
Far.
Look, they're doing a sweep.
I wasn't expecting that.
I'm gonna go around.
She's here. I know it. Search complete. Sync time codes. Airspace in London is restricted. Citizens of London are prohibited from using personal drones within the city.
Vault over. See, now that's a weaponized drone, so you gotta watch out for those. Not yet hijackable until I get the tech points. I'm using the cloak. Right now I'm in cover. Send them a questionable picture. Now watch what happens when I can take them down using stealth. Watch this. Take that, fucker. Now I have access to the door that was originally locked if I didn't get a hold of that box. Now I need to disable this. Oh, it's right here. Disable the security sensor. Oh, okay, that wasn't the one. Gotta get there and get to him or her. You know, like I said, you can also create distractions, like making vehicles move to ward off enemy attention. You can also rig traps to explode.
Search the area. Check doors and corners. Go.
Eyes open. Weapons ready. I know you're here somewhere. Fucker could be anywhere.
Swim everything into your fighter.
It doesn't have to be like this. Give it up. Fucker could be anywhere. Keep looking. I don't like the look of this door. She must be nearby. Data is safe in service. Why worry if you have not?
So when I was in cloak mode, I wasn't able to turn off security to draw attention to security. Watch this.
We have a hacker. Run a search on his motor. On them!
Only way to do. There we go.
Terminating the search.
Uh-oh. And that one can actually call reinforcements. When you see that chevron with the waves symbol, that means that one can call reinforcements the moment they see you. So you want to take them out whenever possible. There's a tech item right there, tech points item on the map. I'm gonna pick that up.
Security systems off again.
Yep, take this. Uh-oh. Bye-bye, asswipe. Ninja hacking skills right here.
Oi, Buckley, is this our spider bot?
According to the serial numbers, this matches the piece of spider bot from the Tone bombing site.
Can you tell who the last user was?
Navigate the spider bot from out of that room. I'll need a direct connection in order to learn more from our bisected friend.
Will do.
Watch what happens here. Gonna hijack that spider bot.
That opening right there looks like a good exit point. That's a part of the remote detonator system from Parliament. If the Met, or Albion rather, actually analysed it, they would see it wasn't DedSec's handiwork at all. Right, get comfy. This spiderbot might be broken and missing some of its legs, but it can still jump and fit through vents. That's a good way to get through the station undetected.
So one thing to mention in Watch Dogs Legion is the heavy dependence upon the use of drones, whether it's a spider bot or flying aerial drones of all sorts and rovers to get to areas that a human cannot. So it's a challenge in itself. So they're like little puzzles, and they can be very nerve-wracking at best. So I gotta safely navigate this spider bot. Even though it's got the missing leg.
That's Colton's mask. It must have been recovered from Parliament. It might be the only thing left of him now.
You can also open vents. Got to get across safely. Ah, damn it. Now I got to get back up there again. All the way. That one makes it frustrating about Watch Dogs Legion. But it's all in the timing, as well as placement, positioning. I think that's it. Okay, finally. Gotta time this right. Damn it! Gotta go back all the way back up again. My frustration level's already building. Okay, we're getting somewhere.
You look at all this
All
junk.
right.
You'll have to jump your way across to get to the next vent opening.
Like I said, I'm getting somewhere. Already at the hour. But I figure to the completion of this.
Who decided they couldn't be trusted to do their job? Suddenly some corporation could clean up our streets better than state police forces.
Eavesdropping on the conversations.
When crime fighting is treated like a business, crime will never go away. That's this, right? So don't tell me Albion has our best interests at heart. So
make your way through this large bent path. Scanning Spybot and accessing its internal drives. While I'm analysing this data, you should make yourself scarce. Unless you'd like to explain to your new, heavily armed, privatised police force why you've broken into the station.
Fine.
Tech points. I've increased the tech points. Good. I want to free that hostage.
God, that's revolting.
As much as this.
Good night. That's all of them.
How is that even possible? Just leave me alone, you understand?
You're free.
I told you here.
Once the defiance meter is increased, I'll be able to have opportunity to liberate the borough.
There we go. I think you just made a new friend. If Albion wanted to lock them up, they must be dangerous. And dangerous we can use.
Nailed it.
The Spiderbot fragment you found has a satellite-based GPS module that regularly pushed its location to a specific ground station.
A secret location? Oh, this shit keeps getting weirder. Let's go find out what we can.
Pushing you the ground station's coordinates.
Auto drive now enabled.
You can also switch out of operatives. Looks like that's gonna do it for this first look at Watch Dogs Legion on the 9 to 5 Outlaw Does Gaming, and of course this will be a future Let's Play gaming live stream walkthrough in the future. I'm kTOS. Stay safe.